Hello.
Um,
Hi. Queena, were you waving to me? I hope you were waving to me.
yeah, I was like my screen doesn't show anything, so I was just double check. Is there anything like?
Okay, well, we can see you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Why don't we wait for a couple more minutes for people to arrive? If you guys could change your names, so I see some of you just put first names. If you could also put your last name, and also change your name to whatever you want to be referred to in class. Can everyone hear me, by the way? If you could nod your heads. All right, why don't we get started? Hopefully some more folks join us in a bit. How is everyone doing today? Really? So you're all on, most of you are on mute, on unmute, so feel free to say something. How are we all feeling today?
Good. Good.
Okay, so 2 people are good. Okay. All right, okay, we'll warm up. Well, welcome to Finance 101 summer session. My name is Professor Fox. I'm delighted to be here with you. I teach Finance 101. I also teach core finance. In particular, I enjoy the summer term of Finance 101. I think it's a bit more intimate and it's a bit more concentrated than you would do normally in a regular semester. For those of you who may have already taken the course, in a regular semester, you meet once a week. Here we're going to meet twice a week for 2.5 hours. Woo! Time. Yeah, I know. Steady on. Contain yourselves. So it actually, I think it works better for pedagogy in terms of you actually picking up concepts more concentrated, and if we meet more frequently. So I'm looking forward to an awesome semester, albeit 6 weeks semester. Okay. Let me start sharing with you my screen, and we'll go over what we're going to hopefully cover today. All right, can everyone see my screen? Yep. Oops, on the wrong presentation. All right, let me get the right presentation first. Oh. All right, can everyone see? Welcome to BU Summer Term Online, yeah? Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through some quick introductions, quick 4 reasons, and I think why you should take this course and why you should study finance. We're going to go through some logistical stuff in between, and then we're going to actually dive into the material on that other presentation that I just showed you. But we're going to get into the material. We're going to actually do some calculations. So make sure you have your handy dandy calculators ready to go, because we are going to, in the past, what we used to have is this first class, which was really nice and soft and cozy, and people were sort of lulled into the idea that this is not a quantitative course. So we're going to actually jump straight into the math of things, because this is a very quantitative course and we want you to be comfortable with the mathematics of finance. Okay, so we're going to get into financial markets, valuation principle, and time value of money. Okay, everyone cool where we're going today? Okay, so this is me. My office, this is my office. You're looking at it. It's the basement of my house in Newton. That's my email. So if you need to reach me, feel free, shoot me an email. It's usually the best way to get me. Maybe a bit slower on the weekends to respond, but I will respond to you. Just be careful, there is another John Fox at BU, so make sure you have the middle F in my email address. And the middle F, just if you're curious, the middle F stands for finance. It's odd that my parents knew to name me John Finance Fox when I was born. Okay, office hours. So my office hours, I think officially will be 1 to 2 p.m. I can adjust these as time goes by. Even though they're the official office hours, if you're going to attend, can you just shoot me an email so that I know that you're going to be there? There's oftentimes where I'm just have a Zoom session going on and no one shows up. It's very lonely. So if you can email me, also if those times don't work for you, feel free to email me. I will have time other than that I can meet with you, either earlier in the morning or even in the evening if it's better suits your time, okay, your local time. Cool. Also after class, usually I'll hang around for a few minutes or whatever. So if you guys want to hang around and ask questions, if they're brief, I'm happy to answer them either about logistics or about the course content. Okay. To use my office hours, there is the Zoom link on this, and this presentation will be saved later on, so you'll be able to get it. It's also on the start screen of our questrom tools site, so if you have any doubts, hop on that, and it's usually most of your answers to your questions are there. Okay, and then that little map down here, can anyone tell me what that is a map of? And Oliver, you don't need to answer this. Anyone, come on, baby.
Ireland.
What?
Ireland.
Damien says Ireland. Yeah, okay. So that's where I'm from. As you may have guessed from my beautiful accent, I'm not from the US of A, baby. Small country. When I was growing up there, very small sort of economic base, and didn't have a really sophisticated financial market. So it was interesting growing up in some place that really didn't have a well-developed financial market, and then to move to the US. I'm happy to give you my perspective on that as we go forward. Here's my experience. I'm not going to go through it. You can read it at your leisure. You see I've done a bunch of different things from engineering, startup, investment banking, consulting, working in corporate America. The reason I show this is if you have a question about, whoa, what's investment banking? I hear a lot about that, right? Ooh, I know there's big money involved in investment banking. I got to do that. I'm happy to talk to you about career stuff. We don't just have to talk about finance in this class. Well, we should talk about finance, but I can also talk about career stuff, and especially if you want to meet in office hours about career stuff, I'm happy to do that. Okay. Courses I also teach, so I also coordinate the core finance, which is FE 323. If you're going to continue on in Questrom as a business major, you will undoubtedly be taking core at some point. So I coordinate that, and I also teach it. I've also taught 449, which is the next progression after that, and SM 151. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, no questions. By the way, I'm also monitoring the chat. If you want to type a question into the chat, that's cool as well. Yes, it works. Okay, next up, who else can we introduce? Yeah. Oliver, where is Oliver? There is Oliver. Can everyone see Oliver? Oliver, can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yeah. So I'm a rising junior in questrom. I'm concentrating in finance and accounting. So if you guys like this course, it's good kind of introduction to the finance world. Currently in California, I'm part of the VU swim and dive team, and I like to surf, and I enjoy photography as a hobby. My information's there. You can reach me either way. I'll respond pretty quickly to either. And office hours are going to be Tuesday 9 to 10 p.m. East Coast time, and then I might add or adapt depending on kind of what your guys' availability is. And then if I was to give you one kind of tip for the course, I would say be proactive. This course kind of moves fast, but it also doesn't really have very much work, so it takes a lot of practice to kind of stay on top of it. And just don't memorize. A lot of this is kind of plug and chug, but if you actually understand the formulas behind all the math, it's going to make your time a lot easier and you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And yeah, should be fun.
Okay, so tell me, what does the UK mean? What's your connection to the UK?
I'm originally from there.
Okay,
So,
you were born in the UK?
yeah, so close to you.
Yeah, and is that London on that photo?
No, that's San Francisco.
That's San Francisco, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that you say you're educated with an exclamation point. That kind of means that you're already done.
Yeah, I wish, not quite.
But to echo, I love that you've, usually when TAs do tips, etc., they usually have a whole list of bullet points. I love that you've kept it sort of succinct as be proactive, right? If you've got problems, come see me, come see Oliver. Reach out. There's plenty of people out here to help you. So be proactive. It's your education. Don't memorize. Beautiful. I love it. The thing about this class is, right, you're going to get different questions in the exam, right? And if you're just plugging and chugging, is that what you said, Oliver? Plugging and chugging.
Yeah, because a lot of it's formulas.
So if you're just plugging into the formula and hope you get the right answer, if we change up the questions slightly and you don't really understand the concept, now your wheels are broken and it may not work for you, right? So yes, we will give you sort of cheat sheets, we'll give you sort of shortcuts, we'll give you little tools that you can use, but really you have to understand the underlying concepts, okay? Cool. Thank you, Oliver. Okay. Now, how about, isn't this going to be fun? How about we go around? Except here's what I want to do. I want to do breakout rooms, okay? So we're going to try and use more breakout rooms this semester than we used in the past semester. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to break you up into breakout rooms. Hopefully it'll be a breakout room with 2 people, you and one other person. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to introduce yourselves. I want you to find out the name of the person, where their home is, where their current location is, what school they go to, and whether the both of you have one tip that you can share with us for online learning, okay? Then when you come back in literally 1.5 minutes, I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes, so don't be hemming and hawing. This is speed dating, baby. So when you come back, you have to introduce the other person, okay? Not yourself, right? It's easier to talk about other people, so you got to introduce the other person, all right? All right, let's see if I can do this with my breakout rooms. Where's my breakout rooms? Don't know. Or breakout rooms. Okay, we've got 30 participants, so I want 15 breakout rooms. Okay, you're going to be put into a breakout room. If you're by yourself, sorry, that's just the way the math works out. You should each have a pair. If you're with Oliver, I'll try and pull Oliver out of this. Okay, and I will come back in and within a minute to end the breakout room. Okay, you ready to go? Here goes. Hopefully this works. Hey Oliver,
How are you?
how's it going?
Good.
They're all in there.
Is there someone else in the one you assigned me to?
Yeah, no, there's only one person there, Alexander Wen.
Oh, okay.
He can introduce himself. We'll see how this goes. So I don't know, but it seems like a bunch of kids are missing.
Yeah, I didn't catch the number. I didn't finish taking attendance yet.
Yeah, I think there were maybe one or two. Actually, I shouldn't say a bunch. One or two kids missing, but and then there's one other student who was registered yesterday. She got dropped yesterday, but I think she's going to be added back today because there's some confusion. She's already taken this class twice. Once with me, so she's taken it for a minor. So that's all.
Right.
Cool.
It's a lot of finance.
Yeah. What are you doing this summer?
I'm back in California. I'm taking OB right now so that I can do core in the fall, and then I'm doing an internship at BDO.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. How about you?
What am I doing? I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I have a place up in New Hampshire, so I usually go up there.
That's probably pretty nice and quiet.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty removed from everything, so it's nice. All right, I'm gonna pull them back in. That should be enough, right? They should be
Yeah.
able to figure out.
They'll probably be having some awkward silence.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Why does this happen? All right, I think we're all back, are we? Hopefully. Okay. All right. Why don't we go around? Okay, so literally as quickly as you can do this, I'm kind of gonna go in alphabetical order. So the first person I have on my list is Susan Aguilar.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
I go with my middle name Shelby.
Shelby, just like the car. Awesome.
Exactly, my dad's favorite car.
Oh, seriously? Did he give you a middle name for the car?
Yeah, that's the main reason.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a great car. Why not?
I've heard.
Okay, Shelby, who did you have? Who are you going to introduce?
So I was in the breakout room with Audrey, and Audrey's from Tucson, Arizona, but currently she's in Netherland, Colorado, and she's in questrom, and her tip is to just try and participate in class because it's easier when you're more engaged in class to like keep track of everything that's going on.
Okay, beautiful. Short and sweet. I love it. Okay. Tanan. Bayan Mick. Tanan Bayan Mick. Is there anyone here by that name? Oh, I guess this is a good way of taking attendance. Okay, he's maybe not here. Queena. Saw you earlier.
Hi, I'm Queena.
Hi, Queena.
And my partner in the breakout room is Kelly Lane. Like her hometown is California, and her current location is California also. And she just finished the CGS sophomore as I did, and going to questrom as her major. And her tip for doing the online class is make a to-do list to keep engaged on everything that she needs to finish.
Okay, beautiful. To-do list. I love it. Okay, thank you, Queena. And shout out to CGS, woo woo, in the house. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Leah Choi. Who did you have, Leah?
I had Ellie Spring, and she's from Boston, Massachusetts, and she's transferring from CGS to questrom, and her tip is just to use the chat to your advantage.
Chat. Can I ask, Ellie, who are you chatting with, Ellie?
Like I'm saying, like if you have a question for the teacher and like you can't, it's like not a good time to like talk in the group, like take yourself off mute. It's good to use the chat.
Okay, cool. Yes, because eventually I will get to it, or Oliver will say, "Hey, slow down, big guy. Read the chat," and I'll read the chat. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Sometimes so I don't want to encourage people chatting between themselves on their phones. I know that happens. If you know someone in the class already, you might start texting them. I would ask you not to do that because you get distracted too easily. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now we're on to Catalina.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by Kate. Can you hear me?
I'm trying to find you, Kate, on my screen. Oh, here you are. Okay, Kate, go.
And my partner in the breakout room was Xavier Gomez. He's from Texas. He comes from like a small town. He's in questrom. He majors in marketing, and he says that he usually studies by carrying his notes around and constantly repeating them, I guess.
Okay, cool. Beautiful. Thank you. So carry your notes in front of you. So, okay, I think on one of the screens later on, I have, when you come to class, make sure you have your notes and make sure you have your calculator in front of you, okay? Don't, when we're 30 minutes into class, don't start rooting around in your bed for your calculator, okay? Have it ready, let's get going, all right? We're here for business, all right? On the business school, I think. Next, and I'm going to kill your first name. Kits? No, that's not right, is it?
I go by Goel.
Goal. You go by Goal, okay?
Yeah.
Goal. Who are you introducing?
So I was in the breakout group with Savannah, and she's originally from South Africa, and
Savannah
currently.
Juice. Savannah Juice, is that her last name?
Hello.
Okay, beautiful. Keep going.
Yeah, and she's currently in California. She's majoring in acting, and she wants to minor in business. And her tip about online learning is have a good Wi-Fi connection, internet connection.
Okay, great point. Good Wi-Fi connection is important. If you can't, try and reach out to us and see if we can do something for you technology-wise. Some of our IT folks are kind of creative. Savannah, can I ask you what part of South Africa are you from? By the way, sometimes I do accents and sometimes they're really bad. So,
It's okay. I don't really have an accent anymore. It's been quite a while since I've been home.
but you still call it home.
Yeah, I was there for most of my life.
And where was there?
Johannesburg.
Joburg?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. I've been to it.
I've been to Ireland.
Oh, awesome.
I was
There you
studying
go.
abroad there last semester.
Oh, fun. Can I just come back to Kate? Kate, I detected an accent. Where are you from, Kate? Sorry? You have yourself on mute. If you could take yourself off mute.
Sorry. I'm from Romania.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Next up. Oh, we have Mark, also known as Xavier, I believe. And you're from Lubbock in Texas, are you?
Huh? Sorry, what were you saying?
You go by Xavier, right?
Yes, Xavier.
Xavier?
Yeah.
Xavier, okay. Some people say Xavier, Xavier.
Either way is fine.
Okay, and you're from Lubbock, are you?
Yes.
I love Lubbock.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
West Texas, baby. Home of the tumbleweeds, love it.
Yeah.
Are you in Lubbock right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I used to live in Texas, so I know a little bit about Lubbock. Who did you have?
I had Kate.
Who?
Kate.
Oh, you had
or
Kate.
Catalina. Yeah.
Okay, well, tell us about Kate from Romania.
Since Kate, she's from Romania. She's in Romania right now, and she's in CAS. And then we both have the same tip of using our notes.
Okay, what is that, Xavier?
Huh?
What is that? Using your notes. What exactly does that mean?
Like, I don't know, having your notes with you and going back to them and stuff.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So each class builds off each other. So you should have your notes from the prior class because you're going to need it for the next class. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on. Grace Handler. Grace, where are you? Hi. Who did you have?
I had a son. He's from Beirut, Lebanon, and currently he's in Boston.
Sorry, what's the son's last name?
I'm not sure. Hassan, what's your last name?
Najjar.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
And he's majoring in IR and CAS. And his one tip is to look back and rewatch the lectures on Zoom.
Rewatch the lectures on Zoom. Is that the tip?
Yeah, so I don't know if this class is recording the lectures or not, but during the spring semester my classes were recorded, so I found that like very helpful because I could just like, if there's something that I didn't get, I could just like rewatch it at any time. Like I can watch one lecture like 5 times if I need to until I get what's going on. So
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so this will be recorded and I'll show you where to find that later on when we look at questrom tools. But yeah, good thinking. Particularly when it comes to studying, if you didn't get a concept, go back and watch the video. That's fair game. Okay, beautiful. Thanks, Grace. Let's go to Chia Hussein.
Oh, hi, I'm Cha-Xing.
Sorry, how did you pronounce your name again?
Cha-Xing Shao.
Okay, Cha-Xing Shao. Okay.
You can call me Veronica.
Veronica? Okay. Okay, Veronica. Who do you have?
And I have Con, and he's originally from Vietnam, and he's currently in Arkansas, and he's from.
Okay, so can you just tell me what is his last name again?
Sorry, wait. Let me check.
Okay. If you could. Sorry?
It's
Con.
Okay.
Con.
Okay. And he's where?
Oh, he's originally from Vietnam.
Vietnam, but you said he's from what I used to call Arkansas, right?
Yeah. He's in Arkansas right now.
Yeah. And so in the US they pronounce it Arkansas. I don't know why they pronounce it Arkansas because it actually is pronounced Arkansas.
I don't know. And he's transferring from CGS to questrom.
Okay.
And his tip for online learning is having 2 monitors, and one for Zoom and one for Notes.
Okay, cool. If I could ask you, how are you taking your notes on the other computer?
I feel like having Excel to write down the formulas work for me.
Okay, all right. So, so I see that usually if you have like an iPad as the second computer or a tablet, that I think is actually a lot better than if you're typing on the other computer. If you're typing, it tends, plenty of studies that show there's not a lot of linking between typing and actually learning the material. Whereas writing, learning the material, there is a connection between your brain and the material. Okay, cool. Okay, so Veronica, thank you. Let's go to Jan. Jan who? No? Jan, are you there? Okay. Maybe that's the other person we're missing. Okay. Savannah from South Africa. Who did you have?
I had Guyal. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong.
Guyal, and what is Guyal's last name?
He goes by Guyal.
Yeah, Goa countries.
Guyal. Oh, sorry, Guyal. Yes, sir. Okay.
He's from India. He is studying engineering right now, and he wants to also have a major in business. Well, he is still currently located in India right now, so right now it's nighttime for him. I believe it was 8 p.m. And tips for learning, he said it would be preferable if the time zones were right, but if not, to reach out to the teacher.
Okay. So, Joel, so is this time zone not good for you?
No, I think this is fine because 8 p.m. is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a class that was 3 a.m. and he had to change it.
Okay, yeah. So you do have an ability to go to an earlier class if you want. Okay. All right, great. Thank you. Okay, so now Alexandra Kridler.
Hi. So I had Tiffany Liu, I think is her last name and how you pronounce it. She's from China and she's there right now. She's a CGS student and she wants to transfer into Questrom. And her tip for online learning was to make sure to attend all the lectures whenever possible.
Okay, beautiful. Again, this is really a cumulative course. If you miss a 2-hour lecture, you're really going to miss out on something. You're going to miss out on a big block of stuff, and it's really hard to catch up. Even if you watch the video afterwards, it is tough to actually get it, okay? So yeah, please attend. Callie Lam?
Yeah, hi, I'm Kali. I had Queena Chan. She's from Hong Kong, but she's currently in Guangzhou, China. She wants to transfer from CGS to COM, and her one tip is to try to participate as much as you can.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. I love it. Thanks, Connie. Dion?
Hi,
Lee?
I'm Damien. You can just call me Damien.
Hold on a second, Damien. I'm trying to find you on my screen.
Should I wave?
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you, Damien. Thank you.
My partner was actually Yan Hu, but I can't find him. Anyways, Yan is currently in Boston. He's actually from China, and he studies economics. And he didn't really give me a tip for online learning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very economical in that respect. He didn't give you a tip. Where can you unmute yourself? Who was it again?
Yan. I don't think he's here. I've been like looking to find him, but maybe he lost connection.
What did you say to him that he left? Oh my God. No takers. Okay. Sad. All right. Maybe he realized he was in the wrong class.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Thank you, Damien. Jiayu, Liu.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Professor. I was in breakdown room with Daphne Reed, and she majors in economic engineering, and I
Hold
think
on a second. He majors in what? Economic engineering? What did you
Mechanical.
say?
Oh,
Mechanical
yes,
engineering.
it's mechanical.
Mechanical engineer. Oh, awesome. Okay,
Yes.
okay,
She's
we'll
in,
get to.
yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Yes, I think she's located in Boston area right now, and for the tip, I think she gives me a pick about to take good notes. I think.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Shu Liu?
I think it's me. It's Sihui.
Oh, it's Shui. Tiffany.
Yeah, but you can call me Tiffany.
Okay. Thanks, Tiffany.
My partner is Alexandra. Sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, but she go by Ali. Ali, you can wait, like just wait if you hear.
Okay.
Hi, here.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And she's from Connecticut, and that's where she located right now. And she's in CAS, but she planned to transfer to Questrom. And
Okay.
her tip for online learning is like going to every meeting if you can.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Jing Liu. Jing?
Hi. I go by Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
My partner was Catherine, and she's from Vancouver, Canada, and that's where she currently is as well.
Which Catherine? Catherine McKernan?
Let me look for her.
No, my last name is Mao.
Yeah.
Okay. You're Vancouver?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is in comm, but she's minoring in questrom.
Okay.
And her tip is just to not fall behind on lectures because you can miss out on a lot.
Okay, beautiful. Good. Shout out to the comm folks. So you're the first comm folk. Okay. And you are the next person, Catherine.
Yeah, so my partner was Kelly Liu. She's from Boston, which is where she is at right now. She's in questrom, and we kind of share the same tip to like don't fall behind with online classes, especially lectures, because it's really hard to like catch up and like still be on top of everything.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. All right. Next, Catherine McKiernan.
Hi.
Hi, that's a great Irish name. Last name.
Yes. Yes, I'm Irish.
Oh,
so
wait, you're from Ireland?
no, but my family is.
Oh, okay.
I lived here my whole life, but
You know what part of Ireland they're from?
Kerry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Dublin, and Kerry and Dublin always had a big rivalry.
I Irish dance, so I kind of get it. But so I talked to Jia Wang. She's born and raised in China, but she currently lives in California. She's in CIS and is hoping to also get a degree in questrom. And we had a joint tip that to learn the most, we should kind of have like a classroom environment and not go to class from our bedroom because we might not pay attention.
Good point. All right. So that's kind of why I come down to my basement. This is sort of my office, right?
Yep.
Better than my bed. Okay.
Yes.
And sorry, where did you say Jia is?
She's in California right now.
California. Cali, baby. Okay. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Niharika Munjal. By the way, apologies as I murder your last names.
Hell yeah. Hi, so I'm Niharika.
Okay, Niharika.
Yeah. So I had Steven as a partner, and he's currently in Chicago.
Hold on, Stephen Napella. Okay.
Yeah.
Nalapa. Sorry. He's in Chicago, the Windy City.
Yeah, and he is currently in CAS, and one of his tips is just to take notes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Gassan Najera.
Hi, yes. My partner was Grace Handler. She's from a small town in Pennsylvania. She is pursuing a dual degree in comm and questrom, and her tip was to go to office hours because she thinks that helps a lot.
Oh, office hours. Amazing. Yeah. Let me tell you about office hours. They're empty, particularly at this time of the semester. And then right before an exam, guess what happens? They get really full and Oliver gets really busy. And Oliver's like, what? And I'm like, really busy as well. Right? So come early, come often to office hours. We have office hours so that you will come. So feel free to come. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, Stephen.
Hi. My partner was Niharika Munjal. She's from and currently in Massachusetts. She's in the School of Sergeant, and her tips to go to the meetings.
Sergeant.
Yeah.
Yay. Let's hear it for Sergeant. What are you studying as Sergeant?
I was in the health science track, and now I'm doing public health.
Okay, beautiful. Public health. Awesome. Thank you. All right, Audrey Nicholson. Where's Audrey?
Hey, here.
Oh, hey, Audrey.
This morning, I guess this morning where I am, I got to talk to Shelby. She is from San Diego, which is where she is currently taking this class.
Shelby.
She kicked this off this morning. It's Aguilar. I'm not sure how you say it, but
Aguilar.
Yes. Yes. She is in CAS, minoring in questrom. And her one tip for this semester is to always check your email because things have been subject to change lately. So just keeping up on all the changes.
Right, good point. Right, so hopefully we have things a bit more planned out than, let's say, last semester. But if you ever get an email from Professor Newell or from me, make sure you read it. right? Don't just delete it. They are super important, particularly as it relates to exams, etc., etc. You will not believe how many times we send out an email and 2 minutes later, someone emails us and says, hey, when are you going to send out that email? We just sent it out. Okay, so read the email. Okay, thanks, Audrey. Did you find out that Shelby, she's named after a car?
I did not find that out in our conversation, but now I know.
Now you know. Joshua Park. Where are you, Josh? Why?
I'm right here.
Josh. You go by Josh.
Yeah.
Okay.
My partner was Julia Willits, and she's from Denver, Colorado. She's in communications, and she's planning for a business minor. And her tip for online learning was to pay attention as much as possible.
Beautiful. Love it. Pay attention. Great. Thank you. Hong?
I'm here.
Yes.
I go by my last name, Pham.
Pham, and you're from Arkansas, right? You're in Arkansas, rather.
I'm in Lawrence, Kansas.
Lawrence, Kansas. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So my partner is Veronica.
Yep.
She is from and currently in Taiwan. She majored in advertising and want to be in minor in business. Her tip is to take away from cell phone.
Leave those cell phones alone. You don't need them while you're in finance class, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Pham. Dagny, mechanical engineer. Is that you, Dagny? Can you take yourself off mute?
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm Dagny. So my partner was Jiayu. His hometown and home country is China. He's currently there as well. He is in CAS studying psychology and I believe minoring in business. And his tip for online learning was taking screenshots of any slides you don't understand so you can study them after class.
Okay, good tip. Or write down the slide number, and if you can't solve it, come ask the TA. Also, there is a book for the course, so you could read the book. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Dagny. Mechanical engineering, right? That's mechanical engineering. How are you enjoying that?
It's good. I'm primarily looking actually to go into, funnily enough, maybe consulting, management, all the things that were also on your list. So.
Okay, good. That is not unusual for engineers to figure that out at some point. Okay. Eliza, Spring, we're getting to the end, guys. Bear with us.
So I was partnered with Anna Wu. She is from China, but she's currently in Boston, and she's transferring from CGS into questrom. And she also had the same tip that you should use the chat room for questions if it's like not the best time to ask.
Okay, thanks, Eliza. Okay, Jiayi Wang.
Hello. I was paired up with Catherine McNearin.
Okay.
She's from Connecticut and she's currently at Connecticut too. We had the joint tip where it's really important for yourself to be at like a desk instead of in your bed to focus during class.
Okay, great. And what school do you know does she go to?
Oh, she was in CGS, but she's transferring into questrom.
Okay, beautiful. Alexander Wen? You were by yourself, Alexander. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Alexander, tell us about yourself. Where are you? Where are you from?
Sure. So my name is Alexander Wen. I'm from New York City, but I'm currently in Boston in the Kenmore area. I just graduated from CGS and I'm going into questrom for an accounting major. And my tip for online learning is to, get up out of bed, do some breathing exercises, change clothes, and then, of course, move to a productive area.
Awesome. Great. Change clothes is good, right? Get ready for business, right? We're in business, right?
Yeah.
Get it together. Awesome. Julia Willits from Denver. Where are you, Julia?
I'm here.
Wait, where are you? I can't see you. Just hold on a second. Wave your hand, Julia. Oh, there you are. How's Mile High?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I had Josh Parker, and he is from and residing in New Jersey. And he is actually a visiting student from Cornell. And his tip for online learning was also to have good Wi-Fi.
Have good Wi-Fi. Okay, I got to go back to Josh now. Cornell. What are you visiting from Cornell from?
I'm visiting from the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm a math major right now.
Okay. And so you're here for a year and you're going to go back to Cornell?
No, I'm just here over the summer because I like the schedule a lot more.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Boston is much nicer than Ithaca.
Yeah, I would agree.
I've never been to Ithaca. I don't know. Okay, cool. And then, okay, so we got Julia. Last, Anna, is it Anna Wu?
Yes. So I'm in chat room with let me see, Leah Choi, and she's from New Jersey, and she's also located in New Jersey right now, and she's also transferring to questrom. And the tip for online learning is using the chat room.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Thank you all. All right, so we are going to make more use of these breakout rooms and these. So when you do go into breakout room, I've done them before and I go into them and it's amazing. You hear silence, right? So if you're doing that in your breakout room, it's going to not be a great semester for you. So whenever we go into breakout rooms, I want you to be solving problems together and discussing the problems. Even if it's obvious, even if you're saying 1 + 1 is equal to 2, it may be obvious to you, but it may not be obvious to the other person. So make sure you converse once you get into the breakout rooms, okay? Cool, thank you for doing that little goofy exercise. Okay, let's move on. Okay, why study finance? I don't know. There are 4 reasons that I can think of why you might study finance. First reason is there were a lot of people from CAS, 2 people from engineering. Did I count 2 engineers? Oh, awesome. CAS, CGS, comms, Sargent, right? A lot of you are trying to transfer or do minors or do majors in questrom. So you would say, well, it's kind of obvious. We have to do this course, right? So, okay, that's the first reason. It's a prerequisite, right? It's a gateway course, so you have to do it. Okay, that's kind of a boring reason. Here's the second reason, which is more meaningful. You should do this course for knowledge's sakes, right? Just learning about finance and how we approach what typically has been a sort of a qualitative type field. It's an art field. We've now put science around it, so we've put quantitative methods around it, and we're trying to figure out how we can use decision making, how we can use quantitative methods in our decision making for something as nebulous as, well, what job should I take? Yeah, you could say that's a financial decision, right? What project should I do if you're in a company? You should look at that from a financial perspective and use quantitative methods to resolve that. That's the second reason. So we're going to teach you tools that are important. Third reason is, as you progress in your career, whether you're transferring into questrom or not, what we're giving you is a language, right? We're teaching you another language. It's called financial language, right? So you will hear terms here that you will hear when you go into interviews, right? And so this will give you a common language that if you go into interviews with companies, even if you're not interviewing for a business position, it'll give you the language of how business thinks, okay? So I'm sure if you went into other fields like engineering, yeah, they have their own language as well, right? So what part of any field is to learn the sort of the key things, the key languages, the key terms, and understand them, right? And be convincing. It helps in interviewing a lot, okay? The last reason is, here's the thing. If you guys decide that this is your last finance course ever, I'll be sad. But if you said, okay, this is interesting, but it's not for me, or questrom is not for me, that's fine. But the tools that you hopefully will take away, particularly the first half of the course, where it's focused more on consumer finance, those tools hopefully will last you through your life, right? Think about your life and the big things that happen in your life. Maybe you have a job. Maybe you get a job. How do you value that? Maybe you can use some financial analysis to do that. What else? Or maybe you'll buy a car. Okay. How do you make sure you're not getting ripped off when you buy a car financially? Maybe we'll have some tools to do that. Oh, anyone want to buy a house at some point? No, maybe not, because millennials don't buy houses, apparently. But if you do, right, we're going to talk about mortgages and how they work. We're going to talk about credit cards maybe and how they work, and interest rates and how they work. All these are important life lessons that you need to know, regardless of whether you do finance or not, okay? Because guess what? On the other side of a transaction, you typically have a financial institution, and they're in the business of making money. The only way they make money is if you're paying them money, right? So your objective in life is maybe try and pay them as little as possible, okay? You'll never be able to pay them zero, you still have to pay, okay? So they're the four reasons. You can read this slide at your leisure, but that's sort of the way I think about it. But we will touch on it, like saving for retirement, super important these days. We'll touch on things like that. We'll touch on car loans. You're going to do a little bit of research on car loans. And then we're going to end up the course on stock and how you value stocks. Okay? Cool. Questions on that? No questions. Okay. Okay. Some logistical stuff. So there's a pre-read. So this is the way that the cycle of the course goes. You read the pre-reads, the slides that are questrom tools. In class, we build on those concepts. And we go through examples. We have worked examples that hopefully will resonate with you. And then when you get to the exam time, we will post practice exam problems for you, and that you will now should be comfortable with. Yeah, they may be a bit more complex, but if you've had the building blocks in class and on My Finance Lab. So the course is really sort of, you do the reading first, then you come to class. You do the My Finance Lab first, and then you come to class, okay? You may struggle a bit with the My Finance Lab, and that's okay. We'll talk a bit about My Finance Lab in a second, but that's the idea. The only way you learn things really well is if you actually get them wrong the first time, okay? So don't be afraid to get things wrong. And if you have problems, read the book, read the slides, reach out to TA, reach out to me. Happy to help. We're here to help. What you will need, the textbook and My Finance Lab, calculator. So this is the calculator, the official calculator. You're going to need this for future courses at Questrom. So go out and buy it. It's not that expensive. If you can't get it, there is an app for your phone, but phones, once we go back to physical campus, phones are not allowed in exams, so therefore we encourage the calculator. Everyone okay on the My Finance Lab text and signing up for it? Did everyone get it? Everyone get signed up? If you've taken the course before, you can get signed up without paying it rolls over, okay? Questrom tools, so that's where we keep sort of all the slides from classes on Questrom tools, all the pre-reads are on Questrom tools, the syllabus is on Questrom tools, etc. So you should go through Questrom tools and look what's there. Also, there will be mini practice exams, what I call mini practice exams. For every class, there's a mini practice exam. It's just a one-pager with maybe 5 questions. You should be doing them. They're not assigned, but you should be doing them. It's the best way to learn. And they are actual questions from past exams, usually multiple choice, but not always, okay? Read the syllabus. I'm not going to go through it in this class for time purposes. And you should have done the My Finance Lab for today. Assignments are due at 8 a.m. of the morning of class. Okay, if you've taken this course before, they were usually the night before. We're changing it to the morning of. Okay, questions on that? Has anyone got any questions about My Finance Lab or signing up? Okay, attendance is required. We only have 12 classes, 6 weeks. So make sure you come to class, make sure you turn on your videos. The assignments are due, as I said, at 8 a.m. and they're listed in the syllabus. On My Finance Lab, it's kind of obvious because it says what's due next, so you don't need to guess about that. There are also 2 other assignments that you will be told about by the TA and myself. Exams will be on ExamSoft, and there will be a makeup exam for those students who are in a different time zone. We try not to have exams between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. On your local time, but you need to reach out to me and Professor Newell to let us know that you need a makeup. The dates are for the first midterm is June 1st at 10 a.m. Midterm 2 is June 10th at 10 a.m. And then the final is on Wednesday, July 1st at 10 a.m. If you have an accommodation or need accommodation, you should reach out immediately to us and let us know so we can factor that in. If you haven't applied for your accommodation, you need to get on top of that and talk to the disability office immediately. Okay. Grading. So this is a breakdown of how the course grading works. The first midterm is worth 15% of your grade. The second midterm is 30% of your grade. Final is 45% of your grade. Your homework is worth 1 point per homework. So each finance lab is worth 1 point, right? So straight away, you do your homework, you get 10% of your grade. You should get 100% of that 10%, right? Absences. So if you're not here, you will get a penalty. You will be deducted 2 points from your final grade, unless you follow the guidelines in the syllabus. Again, you should read the syllabus. If you're sick, please email me within 24 hours so we can accommodate you. There is no grade deflation, okay? Meaning if you all get A's in this course, which I hope you do, and I sincerely believe you can do, you will not be graded downwards, right? So if you all get A's, I am the happiest person in the world, okay? And you should be too. There will be no grade deflation. And likewise, you cannot rely on a curve. Let me just sort of take it aside. Here's my expectation for you guys. It's up here, right? It's not down here. I believe you can all get A's in this class. I believe you can all achieve the grades that you need. In past semesters, I've had classes where only 2 students didn't achieve the grades they wanted, okay? So I believe all of you students can achieve that. So here's where I'm holding you to. This is the standard we're working to, okay? It might be challenging and it might push you, but if you don't shoot for here, you will never get here, okay? So let's shoot for that. What else? Final course grades, yeah, okay. The exams will be on ExamSoft. They're open notes, open book. However, you cannot communicate with anyone. And we have safeguards for the integrity of the exam. And you can review the midterm exams after the midterm on the software, the ExamSoft Exemplify software. But the final exam will not be returned to you in any shape, manner, or form. Okay. Questions on that? Any questions on that? Oh, come on, there's got to be one question. I'm gonna put, yeah.
Sorry, I was like miss out the information when you're talking about like the last pages about the accommodation letter, because I just find out I have a time conflict with like the midterms.
Oh yeah, so if you have a time conflict, email myself and Professor Newell, right? You have an email from Professor Newell. Email her just to say you have a time conflict.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And she will, again, there will be one makeup exam, so she will schedule it so you can take the makeup.
Okay.
Good question. Anyone else?
For the, yeah, Alexander Wen. For the exams, I know that when we started the transition in the spring semester to the quarantine situation, all of the ExamSoft questions were changed from multiple choice to short answer. So for the summer, are they also going to be all short answer, or is there going to be like a mix?
As far as I'm aware, they're all going to be fill in the blanks, right?
Okay.
There won't be any multiple choice.
All right, thank you.
It was actually some of the good learning that came out of the spring semester is that actually we believe that by giving students multiple choice, it actually masks the learning that people have achieved, and you could actually guess at at some of the answers. I shouldn't say a lot of the answers. Some of the answers. So we're taking away the guesswork. You have to tell us what the answer is. Okay, good question. I meant to bring that up. Thanks, Alexander. Okay. If you think of questions, just feel free to take yourself off mute and ask the question.
Yeah, I have one more question about exams.
Sure, Audrey.
Some professors in the spring took the approach of like stacking the exam with a lot more questions than you would typically see on an exam, to try and mitigate the effects of like having open book, open notes available to students. Should we expect exams of typical length, or do you anticipate there being more questions than usual?
No, I know what you're talking about. I think we try to make the exam challenging, and I think the reason we're trying to do it is it's actually not for open book, open notes. You can have open book, open notes all day long, as far as I'm concerned. What we're trying to do is actually combat students cheating and taking time out to call people and say, hey, dial a friend, hey, what's the answer to this? So I think that was the objective there. In finance, we sort of have a formula of how long each question should take. Professor Newell has a whole database of these things. You would not believe it. And so we try to be fair, and we try not to make it so that you will not finish the exam. We want you to get close to finishing the exam. So it won't be stacking it, as you called it. But I don't think you're going to have a lot of time to doodle on your paper. Okay, so it's a balance, because we want you to spend that hour really cranking through and showing us what you know. Okay,
Sounds good. Thank you.
thanks. Good question. Okay, let's move on. My finance lab. So hopefully you've signed on. If you haven't, this is the course ID Fox 17661. There are 8 My Finance Lab assignments and 2 additional assignments for class 5 and 10. We'll get to that when we do those classes. You get credit based on the effort you put in, not on the score itself, okay? So in order to get credit, you have to attempt every problem. You have to spend at least 15 minutes on those problems that you don't get correct, right? So if you don't get them correct, not a big deal. But if you don't get them correct and you just blow them off and say, I can't do it, that's not a good thing, right? So we want you to understand the concepts and really try and figure it out, okay? So you have to spend at least 15 minutes. If you don't spend that 15 minutes on those questions you get wrong, you're not going to get credit for that entire assignment. If you use the Help Solve Me tool, so it gives you an example, it also says Help Solve Me. If you use those tools, just remember to go back and do those questions, because it'll give you another data set to finish it in order for you to get credit. That's a good reinforcing thing to go back and do the question again. All right, I think that's about it on this. Yeah, so the absences and the homeworks will be updated after every class. I think Oliver will be doing that. If you think that we've misgraded your homework or whatever, you need to reach out within 2 days and let us know, okay? If you wait till the end of the semester, we will have forgotten and we won't give you any credit, even if you thought you deserve credit, okay? So reach out. Again, Oliver said, be proactive, okay? Be proactive in your own learning and how you're being graded, okay? Last slide on this, and then let's take a 10-minute break, okay? I see people are angsty, they want to go use the bathroom, whatever. So let's go through this. Here's my expectations for the online classroom. Same standards as being in a physical classroom. Have your notes and your calculator in front of you and ready to go, okay? Don't be futzing around looking for stuff in the middle of class. Put your video on and put your audio on. If you want to mute yourself, that's okay. But it's okay if you want to just leave your microphone on and just interrupt me as we go along. Within reason, okay? Don't keep interrupting people, but if you need to talk, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. Preferably be indoors. Don't be on your deck, your beach, or your boat. I've had people on their deck playing football in the middle of class. Not a good thing. Please don't do it. Very distracting for everyone else, okay? Sit up, get out of bed. Okay, again, you've all reiterated this, right? Sit by a desk, it helps you study. It helps you be present and concentrate. No excessive eating, okay? So it's okay to have a bagel, but don't have it like a 6-course meal in the middle of class, please. Don't be drinking the alcohol in the middle of class. Don't be vaping. It's not good for you, particularly coronavirus, hello? Or smoking. I know you're in your own homes and you have your own freedoms and all that, but it is distracting for other students. We've had, in the spring semester, I had people drinking. Please don't do that. I have had people also fall out of bed, by the way, in class. Hilarious, very hilarious, but it's distracting. Don't do it. Get up out of bed. I haven't had, but I've heard of people where there are multiple people in the bed. Very distracting. Don't do that, right? Okay, just get up, sit by a desk. It's a lot safer, okay? When in breakout rooms, please talk to each other, work on the problems. The best way you know if you're learning this is if you can explain it to someone else. That's the best way of learning. Participate, ask questions, participate, answer questions, participate, follow along, nod your head. participate, please. If you have to listen to me for 2.5 hours, you think my accent is cute now? After 2.5 hours, it's like, shut up already, all right? So take yourselves off mute, ask questions, please. Questions? Jiayi?
Hi, sorry, I didn't get to ask the question before. How long are the exams? Like how much time given and also like how many questions?
So I think it's about an hour, to be determined, but I think the midterms will be about an hour, and the final might be a bit longer, but it's about an hour. And then therefore there's about 24 questions, 23, 24 questions.
Thank you.
Okay, why don't we come back at 11:27? Why don't we say 11:30, and then we'll get into the material. Okay, let's go. Go have a break, walk around, get the blood flowing. Eliza, that looked like a nice drink. All right, it's 11:30. Let's go. So if you're back, can you turn on your videos, please? And if you're not back, why aren't you back? All right. So let's go into everyone. Can everyone see my slides now? It says class 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we did bullet point 1. We did bullet point 2. We're going to cover the valuation principle, role of competitive markets, and the law of one price today. Then we're going to break into time value of money and understand that money has some time value of money. And we will finish up by just doing some simple calculations, okay? So sort of to tee it up, so before you think about that, financial markets and financial institutions are really important in order for all this to happen. As I said, I'm from Ireland. When I grew up in the 90s, okay, no one got that joke, never mind. Their markets were not developed that well. So therefore, it was actually really hard to start a business, to get a loan, to get a mortgage, things that we sort of take for granted. So the financial markets, particularly in developed countries, are really important to a good, healthy economy. So if you think about it, down here in this little graphic we have here, what I call the cycle of cash. What financial markets achieve, or what they help achieve, is they move money from people who have money to people who need money, right? So if you think about maybe you or me, if we're working and I get paid a certain amount, maybe I don't need all that money, right? Maybe I can save some of it, put it away in a savings account, or put it into the stock market. In doing so, it moves money from me, people who have money, into the market where people who need money can make use of it, right? So it's actually super efficient in that respect. And the idea is that eventually that money will come back to me, either in the form of profits or dividends, or interest if I gave someone a loan, it would come back as interest, or I might actually work for the company, and therefore sort of, if I encourage a vibrant company and I work for that company, it should pay me some salary, right? Okay, so it's sort of a virtuous cycle. And sort of these bullet points are the main players. But this sort of scratches the surface, right? If you look at banks, if I think about banks, well, are we talking about retail banks? So that's sort of your high street bank where your ATM is, and you maybe do some foreign exchange transaction, or you deposit a check or whatever. You get a credit card. That's a high street bank, a retail bank. But then there's a commercial bank where their customers are companies, right? So it's banked directly to companies. And then there's investment banking, where it's another bank, but it's only focused on companies, and they're actually maybe don't extend capital. They don't have capital to give, but they arrange transactions, right? So you can go into each one of these. There's a lot behind them. I'm not going to go over them. You can read about them in the book. If you've got questions, you can ask me later on after class. I do want someone to tell me, can someone tell me what a mutual fund is? So you can put your hand in the air either electronically, or you can take yourself off mute, or you can put your hand in the air physically. What's a mutual fund? I'm sure you've all heard of people talk about mutual funds. Hassan, what you got?
Yeah, so basically, like, a mutual fund is a fund where you can put your money to be invested, but it's like not just your money. It's many other people who've also put their money in that fund, and so it creates like a bigger pool of like capital to be used to invest. So yeah.
Yeah, so that is part of it, right? That you actually pool the money, and so therefore they actually can invest in other things that maybe you wouldn't have the opportunity. But more importantly, it's the idea is, hey, guess what, guys? I don't know much about healthcare stocks, right? Maybe there's somebody out there in a financial firm, let's call it Fidelity, or let's call it Vanguard, or let's call it Goldman Sachs, who knows a lot more about about healthcare stocks, and they pick the stocks. So if I give them my money, they can pick the stocks for me and put those stocks in what's called a basket, and I just buy the basket. I have no control over what they're buying, but that's the whole point, is they actually should know better than me. Okay, so that's what a mutual fund is, and it actually means that you can get access to a lot of company stocks pretty quickly with very little capital, right? So you could invest maybe $100 and you could buy a mutual fund.
I mean, most mutual funds that aren't like applications on the phone don't really like, they have like a minimum for how much you can like invest.
Right, cool. So what's the minimum?
Well, I was trying to invest with Merrill Lynch and they said like it's 5K. Yeah. For an account that's managed by them completely. And then there's like another one that's no minimum and they just like give you advice, but you have to do it on your own.
Right. But they're giving you advice. So I'm not necessarily asking for advice. I just want them to invest the money. Separately, I have a financial advisor, and that person gives me advice. But they're not linked to Merrill Lynch in this case. But if you go to Fidelity or Vanguard, or Schwab, they tend to have really low minimums. They're not Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch is, I love it. You got high expectations, baby. I love it. Yeah, you go big money. All right, good for you. All right, so what it achieves is it actually, these financial markets, what they do is they move money from savers to borrowers, right? From people who have money to people who need money. The second thing they do is they move it across time. I don't need the money now, but when I retire, I will need the money because I won't have a salary. So what it does is it moves money from, I'll give it away, I'll invest it right now, but with a view that I'm going to get it back sometime in the future. Okay. And then the last thing, it helps spread out my risk, right? So let's say, for example, I invested all my money in Toys R Us. Does anyone know Toys R Us company? Yeah, this used to sell toys. What happened to Toys R Us? Eliza, you know what Toys R Us is?
Yeah, it got shut down.
Yeah, they went bankrupt. So if I invested all my money in Toys R Us, I'd be sorry, right? So what the markets achieve is if I bought a mutual fund, yeah, Toys R Us might have been in there, but it was only a small portion, and therefore I didn't lose all my money. So I spread my risk out. Okay, so there's sort of the three things that we want in our markets. Okay, let's move on. Then if you think of, well, if all I'm doing is I'm making an investment, then we're going to have a criteria. Well, what's my criteria to make an investment? Well, I should make an investment if the value of what I expect to get is greater than what I actually had to put in, okay? So the value of the benefit exceeds the value of the cost. Kind of simple, right? I get back more money than I put in. That's great. That's a good investment, and I should do it for the most part, okay? So when we think about, particularly later in the semester, when we talk about companies, they want to figure out, well, should I do these projects? Well, the simple metric is the value of the benefit exceeding the value of the cost, okay? And a lot of things go into it, right? It's not just the finance, it's also strategy, it's marketing, it's operations, it's organizational behavior. That's what business schools try to teach you, all these different disciplines. But it all boils down to, is the value of the benefit going to exceed the value of the cost? Okay. Okay, so let's do this simple, goofy example. Suppose I have a jewelry manufacturer has the opportunity to trade 200 ounces of silver and receive 10 ounces of gold today. Is this a good trade for the jeweler? Okay, so this is what's called a swap in financial terms, a swap. So is this a good idea? Can anyone answer? By the way, I do cold call. If I cold call you, don't get stressed out. If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know, or I wasn't listening, or whatever. We're not taking, Oliver's not taking score. I'm not taking score. Okay, so don't sweat it if you get cold called, not a big deal. Anyone want to say, should we do this?
Yes.
Who's saying that?
Shelby.
Shelby.
I was gonna say that yes, because gold, like if you're talking about like per ounce, is valued much higher than silver is, just because it's a harder commodity to find. And also
Okay.
going back to like the gold standard and how the dollar's weighted at the gold standard.
Beautiful. I love it. You gave me a super complex answer. Going back to the gold standard and Bretton Woods. Oh my gosh. I love history. So here's the thing. So yes, you're exactly right. And you obviously know gold is actually more expensive. What if you didn't know, right? Just based on what I've told you so far, you'd say, I need to know more, right? So I need some other information. And Shelby, you're sort of saying, well, what's the price per ounce? So silver is $20 per ounce and gold is $1,000 per ounce. Okay, so then I do my math. Okay, I'm giving up silver. So what am I giving up? I'm giving up 200 ounces of silver times $20. So that's $4,000. What I'm getting in return is 10 ounces of gold, but it's at $1,000 per ounce. So therefore I'm getting $10,000. So clearly with that price differential, I should do this swap, right? Because what I'm getting for the gold is the benefit exceeds the cost of the silver that I'm giving up. Okay, is that clear to everyone? All right. Okay. So what we need then in order to do these type of questions is we need to have a competitive market available to us that we can price things off, right? So we need to have a competitive market so we can figure out, well, what is the price of gold and what is the price of silver? Good news is that there are a lot of competitive markets for a lot of things out there. The other thing is, it doesn't matter what your opinion of gold or silver is, right? It doesn't matter that I don't like the color of gold. Oh, it's yellow, it's gross. I prefer silver, it's nice, bright, shiny, white. Right, that doesn't have any impact. It's really, what's the market value? That's the only thing that you should consider when you consider doing these financial evaluations. Any questions on that? So historic cost has no impact, and your personal opinion of it has no impact. The only thing that matters is the market value. Okay, so you had this homework to do, yeah? Did you do this homework about walnuts and almonds?
Yeah.
So it's a similar situation. This person is growing almonds and he doesn't like almonds. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. The competitive value of the almond crop is he has 1,000 tons of almonds and each ton is worth $100. And his neighbor is saying, I'll give you 800 tons of walnuts in exchange for all your almonds. So you do this calculation that the almonds are actually worth 100,000. Your walnuts are only worth 88,000. Therefore, what he should do is he should take his almonds, keep his almonds, then go to the market and sell the almonds. He'll get 100 grand. If he really wants the walnuts, he takes the 100 grand. He actually only needs 88,000 to buy the walnuts, and he's left with a profit of $12,000 on top of all the walnuts he could eat. Okay? So hopefully you understood that. Any questions on that? Okay, why don't you guys take 2 minutes and do this question? When you're finished, put your hands in the air. So here's the thing. Let me read it as you guys read it. I'll read with you. You just won a Mensa quiz held in Tavern in the Square last Wednesday. Apparently you can travel out of your homes. The prize is a Jewel family pack, which consists of 4 Jewel starter kits and 1 4-pack of Jewel pods. You could also choose a new pair of AirPods. You think Jewel products are a bad thing. They're not healthy. And you'd much prefer to listen to Finance Today. Okay, I don't know who made up this question. It's long. You go online and you notice that Jewel starter kits are buying and selling on eBay for $48, and a 4-pack of Jewel pods are buying and selling for $14. On Best Buy, AirPods are selling at $179 after tax. What should you do? Okay? And don't just tell me you should do this. Figure out the economics. What's the benefit? What's the cost? What's the net gain? That's it. Take out your calculators. Let's go, baby. Shelby, you got a question? Or you got an answer?
Oh, I got an answer.
Okay, so do you know how to put your hand up electronically?
Yes.
Okay, so can you just put your hand up electronically? Thank you for putting your hand up. Again, if you're finished, can you put your hand in the air? Electronically?
How do you raise your hand electronically? I'm looking at the toolbar below and I can't find it.
So if you click on participants, at the bottom of
there we are.
participants, I think you have thumbs up.
Got it. Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. All right, why don't we get going? All right, who's going to help me think through this? Shelby, you had your hand up first, I think.
Okay, so basically what I went through is with since each starter pack is $48 each, you just multiply that by 4, and then you add 14 because there's only 1 pack of Jewel pods, and then you subtract the amount 179 from your sum, which is you get 206 as the final sum from the Jewel family pack. And then, so as a total, if you choose the Jewel family pack, then you're making $27 more in a sense than buying AirPods. So technically, that's the better steal.
All right, so everyone get that? Everyone agree with Shelby? Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, so the benefit of getting the Jewel starter kit was the monetary value was 4 times 48 plus 14, as you outlined, is 206. So the actual prize was worth 206. The AirPods were only worth 179. So you'd go for the Jewel kit, even though you don't like it, even though you don't vape. You'd get it, you would sell it on eBay, and then take your proceeds of 206 and buy your AirPods for 179, and you'd have $27 left over. Okay, everyone cool with that? So that's the structure. What am I giving up? That's my cost. And what do I get in return? That's my benefit. The benefit exceeds the cost, you would do it. Okay, cool. Of course, that was an unrealistic example, right? Everyone knows that the Mensa doesn't meet on Wednesday in Tavern in the Square. It meets on Thursdays. Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know anything about Tavern in the Square, neither do you. Never mind, never mind. Moving right along. Okay. So what it illustrates, what's two things what it illustrates is, first of all, so here's the question, right? There's a lot of language here. An important part of succeeding in finance is taking this language and translating it into numbers, right? So you have to pay attention to the detail, i.e. that there were 4 starter packs and only 1 4-pack of the pods, right? It wasn't 4 packs of the pods. It was only 1 pack of the 4-pack of pods, if you get that. Okay, so interpretation is important. The little details in finance matter. The other thing is, it doesn't matter that you didn't like Jewel or your personal preference. What mattered really was the market price at which you could buy and sell it on eBay. Okay, so that's the other thing you should take away from the example. All right, questions on that? Okay, so that leads us to the valuation principle. And that says that the value of a commodity or an asset is determined by its competitive market price, right? So we're talking about commodities here. Can people just take themselves off mute and just shout out what you think a commodity is? Just one word of an example of a commodity. Alexandra, can you tell me what a commodity is?
Like a good.
Yeah.
Anything you buy.
Yeah, no, so no, not anything you buy, because if I buy that Shelby was talking about, that ain't a commodity. They're very rare. So what exactly are we talking about? Can you give me some other examples?
Then maybe like a typical, like something you could buy at a store.
Okay. Like what? What exactly?
Like toothpaste.
Toothpaste. Okay, so toothpaste actually, the silica in toothpaste is definitely a commodity that's bought and sold, right? Any other examples?
A non-luxury
Savannah.
item.
It's a raw material that you can buy or sell.
Okay, give me an example.
Like wood or
Okay.
like ink.
Lumber product.
Yeah.
For sure.
Coffee beans.
Coffee beans, great.
Like food. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else got some other examples?
Maybe like oil.
Oil. Someone said oil. Yeah, oil is super big commodity, right? Oil and oil derivatives and energy products like natural gas, propane, LPG, LNG, all those energy products. Anything else?
Gold, silver.
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard people say gold and silver. I heard someone say corn. Beautiful. Orange juice, pork bellies, bless you, cheese, is a commodity, and it's traded in Wisconsin of all places, believe it or not. Foreign exchange also, like euros and won and yen are all sort of commodities, okay? So that's what we're talking about. And so the price of a bushel of corn should be the same in Europe as it is in the US, right? Because it's a bushel of corn, or it's a barrel of oil, right? For the most part. You got to take transportation into account, but for the most part, they should be the same. Okay, and therefore in competitive markets, identical assets have the same price. And if they don't, people will buy the thing that's cheap and sell it where it's expensive, right? So if oil is not the same, if oil in Chicago on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is more expensive than in New York, what I'll do is on NYMEX, I'll buy oil on NYMEX and I'll sell it in Chicago. I'll make a profit immediately. That's what we call an arbitrage, right? And an arbitrage opportunity is any situation where I can do that buy, sell at the same time and I don't have any risk and I take advantage in the price differential. It used to be a really big deal back in the day when each city had its own exchange, right? Boston had its own stock exchange. And the only means of communicating were telephone or wire, and therefore these differences would exist. I would argue that these days it's really hard to get these arbitrage opportunities. Again, we're talking about commodities. I had one student say, oh no, but if you think about that pair of sneakers, because the sneakers on Back to the Future, you know, the lace-up sneakers that Nike brought in. Oh, you could buy those on eBay and you could sell them on eBay for a huge profit, or buy them in person and sell them on eBay at a huge profit. Yeah, but they ain't commodities, all right? We're talking about commodities, right? And it's certainly not a risk-free proposition. Everyone clear on that? Questions? Okay. Okay, so let's think about, we've talked about, okay, swapping silver for gold at one point in time. But what happens when the transaction occurs over time, which is actually usually the case, right? I invest money today with a hope of getting money sometime in the future. So how do I think about that? And we need to think about these cash flows as they occur over different points in time. Here, let's do this simple, goofy example. I've got my wallet, taking money out of my wallet. Who's going to be my guinea pig? Tiffany. Tiff. Yeah. Hey, you know what this is?
Yeah, it's $100.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah.
Tiffany, here's a proposition. I could either give you this $100 today, I'd FedEx it to you, or I'll give it to you when we're back on campus in, I don't know, the fall. Let's say the fall. Let's be hopeful, in the fall.
Okay.
I'll give it to you today, or I'll give you this exact same $100 bill in the fall. Which would you prefer?
I will take today.
Oh, why, Tiffany?
Oh, cause like if I got the money, I can like put in the bank, and they have like I don't know what that called, but like kind of like profits. So like after a certain like day, I will get like more than $100.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, beautiful. I love what you said. Some students would say, oh, I'll take this $100 and I'll spend it. Okay, so there are two things you can do with this $100. You can consume it, you can spend it, which is fine. Consumption is an okay thing. Or Tiffany, what you said is I'll save it, which is also fine. And we're going to think more about, let's save it, right? And think about the profit you said, Tiffany. I'll call it the interest that I will get on this $100, okay? Okay, so now you understand the principles of time value of money. $100 today is worth more than $100 a year from now, or a half a year from now, or 2 days from now. $100 today is worth more. Okay, everyone clear on that? Oh, I love the smell of $100 bills. Okay, let's do it. So Tiffany gets her $100 and she puts it in the bank, and the bank pays an interest rate, and the interest rate is 10%. How much does Tiffany have at the end of 1 year? 110, right? So she gets the 100 back that she put in, but also the bank says, hey, we'll give you interest of 10%. So 10% of 100 is $10. They give you $10 worth of interest. Okay. Everyone okay with that simple example? So in order to calculate how much you have, it's how much the interest is, it's just principal times the interest rate, or P times R. So just like we did for the gold example, in order for me to get from ounces of gold today, what I had to do is I had to take the gold price in dollars per ounce, multiply it by the ounces, and that gave me how much it was worth. And if I want to flip back, I have to divide it by the gold price. Similarly, when we move dollars over time, if I want to figure out how much dollars will I have in 1 year, well, I take my dollars today and I multiply it by some factor that factors in the interest, and that gives me my dollars in 1 year. And if I divide it, that'll actually give my dollars today. If I take what I had 1 year and divide it, okay? Again, we'll illustrate this. You have $1 today, and you can deposit it in the bank, and you get $1.10 next year. That 10 cents is what we call the time value of money, the increase of 10 cents, time value of money. It's the idea that money will actually work for you as long as you put it in some investment. And a bank account is some investment. All right. So the interest rate we're going to call R, right? And then the interest rate factor is 1 plus R. We're going to think about this. This is maybe not that obvious. So let me try and do this. Can people see my squiggles on the screen? Okay. So here's the thing. I put principal in time 0. At time 0. Then in a year's time, what do I get out? I get my principal back, plus I get my interest. So can someone tell me, how do I calculate my interest? We just did it on the last slide. How could I calculate interest? If the interest rate is R, how's my interest? So
P times R.
Sorry, who said that? Was that Gasson? Who said that? Say it again.
It's the principal times the rate.
Okay, so it's the plus my interest. And that's equal to P plus P times R. Sorry. Okay? So if I do some algebra, I'll take out P as common. So P into 1 plus R. So what I have in the future is just my principal today multiplied by this factor, which we call the interest rate factor of 1 plus R. So that's how we came up with it. I wouldn't worry about this. And this comes from the book. It has the units of dollars in 1 year divided by dollars today. I've never understood that. I don't think you need to understand that. What you need to understand is if you multiply a number by 1 plus R, it'll give you the future value. It'll give you the value sometime in the future. Okay? Let's go through this a little bit further. If I have an investment opportunity that costs $100,000 today, but it will pay me a benefit of $105,000 in 1 year, should I do that? Right? I'm investing $100,000, but it's going to give me $105,000. Should I do that? Just based on that information. Okay, so some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Can some people unmute themselves and say something?
We can't compare the two because one's today and like the 105,000 is at the end of 1 year and has to be in the same time frame.
Okay, beautiful. So you're saying I don't know because I can't compare the two directly. You just told me that $100 today is not the same as $100 next year, so therefore I can't compare them directly. So I need something else to help me do that. So another piece of information is, well, what if you said the bank account pays 10%? So here, the first line, I have the investment. I put in 100 grand and it'll give me 105. However, if I put money in the bank, the same 100 grand, and let it grow, it'll pay me 110. Now what Grace was saying is, yeah, I don't know, but if you told me what the bank is going to pay me, clearly I should do what the bank is going to give me, right? Everyone get that? $110,000 is more than $105,000. They're both at the same point in time. Therefore, I should do the bank investment, right? I should just put my money in the bank and forget about the other investment. Okay. Another way of saying this is, hey, what if I didn't have actually $100,000 to invest? I could borrow it, right, from the bank. However, if I borrowed it from the bank, it would mean that I'd have to pay them back $110,000 1 year from now. Does everyone get that? If I borrowed $100,000, I'd have to pay the bank back $110,000. Okay, but then what would I get in return from my investment? Well, I invested that $100,000 that I borrowed from the bank, and in return I got 105. Okay, that's great, but I owe the bank 110. So I'm actually losing $5,000 1 year from now. Okay, so therefore my net loss is minus $5,000 1 year from now. Is that clear to everyone? It doesn't matter if you say I'm borrowing the money or I've lost the opportunity of investing it in the bank. You're still going to end up with it's minus 5,000. Okay. And so then if I wanted to figure out, well, how would I get, as Grace said, I can't compare the 105 to 100 because there are two different points in time. How would I get the 105 back to today's value? I mean, what's the economic equivalent? And one way of doing that is by saying, I'll take 105 and I'll divide it by that interest rate factor of 1 plus R. That's my interest rate factor, 1 plus R. So it's 1 plus 10%, so that's 1 plus 0.1. That's 1.1, right? So I'll take 105 and divide it by 110, and that is actually 95,454. That's what we say the present value of the 105 is 95,454. It's the present value. Okay? So now I can say, okay, well, now I can compare. I'm putting in 100,000 today, and I'm getting back the equivalent of 95,000. I get 105 back, but the equivalent is 95,454 in today's dollars. So therefore, I'm making a loss of minus 4,545 today. Doesn't seem like a good proposition. I shouldn't do it. Everyone okay with that? And then just to close the cycle, okay. The link between this 4,554 and the 5,000, which happens 1 year from now, is 1 plus the interest rate. So if I took my 4,545, multiply it by 1 plus R again, the interest rate we're told is 10%, I would end up with 5,000, right? So it doesn't matter if I look at a future value. If I look at a future value, I'm at 5,000. If I look at a present value, I'm at 4,545. Those two numbers are economically the same numbers. It's just they happen on different times. Okay, so the last slide, and we'll do a little bit of calculations, or you'll do a little bit of calculations. So if I want to get the present value, if I want to find the value of something today, that's what PV stands for, present value. I'll take the cash flow, so in that last example it was 105,000, and I'll divide it by 1 plus the interest rate. And that'll give me how much it's worth today. So I want you to do this 3 questions and then put your hands in the air. So if you got $1,000 received in 1 year with an interest rate of 3%, what is it worth today? Second question, $1,000 received in 1 year at an interest rate of 6%, what is it worth today? And $1,000 at a rate of 8%, what is it worth today? Okay, do those 3 questions quickly. Yeah, when you finish all 3 of them, can you put your hands in the air? All right. Do we need another minute? Okay, let's do it. Cassie. Can you answer the first one?
Yes. 970 with 87 cents.
$970.87, right? So you said it's $1,000 divided by 1 point or 1 plus 0.03. So it's important that you put it percentages and decimals. So it's 1,000 over 1.03, and so you got 970.87. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. See who else? Catherine, Mel, what did you get for the second one?
I got 943.396.
Beautiful. So let's round that to 40 cents. Great. Josh Park, what you get for the next one?
For the second one, I got 904.
No, the last
for the
one.
third one, I got $925.93.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Cool. All right. So what we've done is we've actually slid backwards on the timeline, right? We've gone from the future. We told you it was $1,000 in the future, and we've brought it back to the present. Okay. Now you know what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to go from the present and go into the future. Okay. So the way we do that is we say the future value is the present cash flow multiplied by 1 plus the interest rate. Okay. So 3 more questions. $1,000 in 1 year with an interest rate of 3%, 1,000 at 6%, and 1,000 at 8%. What are the values in the future? Again, if you're done, can you stick your hand in the air? Okay. All right. Hey, Fam, I meant to stick your hand in the air electronically. Do you know how to do that?
Like how to do it? I didn't know how to do it.
If you go under participants, you see at the bottom of participants, click on participants, and then you see a list of names. And then at the bottom, it gives you like a thumbs up.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. That's important. Okay, Anna Wu. What's the answer to the first one?
It's 1030.
1030. Beautiful. So all you just said was, what's it?
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, so 1,000 times 1.03.
1 plus 0.03. And so that's 1,030. Great. Thank you. Kate, you want to tell me the next one?
Yes, the next one is 1060. It's 1000 multiplied by 1.06.
Okay, 1060. Great. Thank you. And Jan, who?
It's 1080.
1080. Great. All right. Everyone good with that? Everyone okay with that? All right. So by observation, what do you see on the future value? What do you see about increasing the interest rate? What happens to the future value? Eliza.
So the larger the interest rate, the higher the future value will be.
Yeah, so if the bank is giving you a higher interest rate, you would expect to have more dollars at the end of a year after you put your money in the bank, okay? Okay, so that's kind of obvious for the future value. How about the present value? What do we observe with as interest rates increase? What is the present value doing?
As the interest rate increases, the present value decreases.
Okay, so who says that? Who said that?
I did, Julia Willits.
Okay, Julia, you said as the interest rate goes up, the present value goes down, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's worth less today if the interest rates are higher, right? It means you're discounting the future value at a higher rate. You're discounting it more, so it's worth less, okay? Or another way of saying it, if you say it in reverse, I'd need to put in less money today because I know the interest rates are higher and it would earn me more interest going forward, right? Okay, great. That's all I got for today. Any questions on anything, either any of the material we covered or anything about the course that you forgot to answer at the first half of the course, first half of the class? No questions? Oliver, can you give us a quick rundown? What's on tap for homework?
I think we just have the My Finance lab, so make sure you guys have a look at that.
So I would not wait for the morning of Tuesday next, right? That's when we meet next.
Yeah,
To
I
do
mean,
it.
The homeworks are really not a lot of work, but if you kind of just work on it 5-10 minutes every day, you're gonna retain the information better.
Yeah, and so particularly if you haven't signed up for My Finance Lab yet, you should do that as soon as possible. Make sure everything's working and you're seeing those assignments. Okay. All right, that's all I got. I wish you all a happy weekend, a long weekend, Memorial Day. I would say go out to the beaches or whatever, but maybe not. So go out, enjoy yourself, spend some time with your family if they're there with you. If you need anything, reach out on email. We're around. Okay. Peace. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Fam, can you stay on? Thanks. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to take them after class if you want to stay on. Kate, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I have a question about my Blackboard. Like my class doesn't appear on my Blackboard account.
Oh yeah, so you send me the email, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I just
so
wanted to say to you right now. Just
yeah, so we don't use Blackboard.
Oh.
Have you
So
have you used Questrom tools?
No, never.
Okay, so I think it's the same concept. It's just Questrom tools is just a big folder on the internet where it has all the materials.
Okay.
I'll shoot you an email with the link to the Questrom tools. I'll just check to make sure that you're added. I think you are there already.
Yeah.
So I will do that, and I'll follow up with you, right? And we can go from there.
Okay.
But it's the
Okay.
same as Blackboard. Assignments need to get loaded up in Questrom tools, etc.
And I have to log in with my account, my bio account.
Yeah,
Or
you
like,
log in with your BU account, exactly.
okay, perfect. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll shoot you an email.
Thank you.
Dagny, you got a question?
Yeah, I just had gotten kicked out. Like my Zoom froze, everything just kind of froze out on my computer. Did I miss anything? I just couldn't get back on. I just had to restart everything really quickly.
So I said, if you want the $100, right? Were you there for the $100?
Yeah. So
the $100. Send me $200 by FedEx, and I'll send you the 100. No, how much did you miss?
Very little. I was gone for probably like a minute.
Okay. No, we just went over this one My Finance Lab for next week. So just
Okay.
do that. Do it early.
Okay.
Don't leave it to the last minute.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. See you. Good luck.
Bye.
Oliver, are you all set?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Did you get
Yeah.
attendance and all that stuff?
Yeah, and then whenever Victoria gets added, I'll just take her on for that.
Yeah, and you can give her credit for
Yeah.
today because it was screw up on our part. Okay, thanks, Oliver. I'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Or
see ya.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay, cool. Victoria, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Apologies for the confusion.
No, it's good. It's fine. I was just waiting on the response, so I didn't know if I should join or not. But I received your email, so thankfully I could join.
Yeah, no, so I think they didn't realize you're doing this for your minor.
Yeah, I also yeah, I just received back the email from Emily, and she told me it was okay. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, everything's all set up.
Good. Where are you, Victoria?
I'm in Texas right now, so Central Time.
Okay, cool. What part of Texas?
San Antonio.
Okay, cool. Good. All right. Let us know if you've got questions as we go through it, Victoria, right?
Thank you so much, Professor.
Make sure you reach out to me, right? Don't
Yes.
leave it to the end.
Yes, I have a question. So for the Pearson, I have to re-buy it again, right? It wouldn't.
I don't think you do.
No.
No,
I'll try to check on that today, and if not, I'll send you an email. Like, or probably I'll have to like. I don't think it probably has a due date of 1 year probably. So.
No, they've arranged that you should be able to take it. So, you got the code right? They're in the slides from. So you missed the first half of the class, but the code was in the slides.
Okay. Is it to be posted, or do I just write it right now?
You can find it on. Let me post it. It'll take a minute.
Okay.
I'll post them and then it'll be there. Actually, they're on Questrom Tools. Professor Newell had them in one of her documents.
Okay.
So just try sign up for that course.
Mhm.
And I think it might let you in. If it doesn't let you in, just shoot me an email and I'll send a note to Pearson to have you added.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor.
Okay, see you. Good luck.
Have
Bye.
a good. Bye.
Bye. Fam, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So you took the course with me before, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you. So I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you in the class. But let me ask you, would you prefer if you were with Professor Newell?
This time was fine. Like, I find myself difficult to like doing the question like on time. I usually like do it like really slowly. So that's why I feel trouble with the course. So I feel like.
Yeah, so what I want to make sure is that, people have different styles of learning. So you had this course with me. What did you withdraw from the course? Or no, you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I withdraw from SM, not this course.
Okay. So I want to make sure that you're set up for success. So if like you don't have to be in my section. If you want to go into Professor Newell's section, I can ask her to have you sit in her section.
Is that like SM 132? Like I
Yeah.
thought like that's like two different courses.
Yeah, it's two different core. It's they're just different in name only. They're exactly the same material.
Oh, I see. But, like I took this